You're on a diet, but you're probably not as hungry as you really think you are. You didn't want to hear that, but it's the truth. I know that sounds ridiculous, but after having coached hundreds of professionals just like yourself, what I've come to realize is that most people don't have a problem with hunger, they have a problem with structuring their nutrition. So today I'm going to give you everything you need to sort out hunger for good. So I've said you have a structure problem, but more than that, you have a hydration problem, potentially an emotional problem, and what people don't talk about are the 3 types of hunger. So when you understand those, that right there is the light bulb moment. And then fat loss becomes a heck of a lot easier. Over the last 6 years, I've coached hundreds of professionals just like you into the shape of their life while struggling to be mums and dads and doctors and dentists and lawyers. But what I've also come to appreciate is that there is a sentence that everyone always says.
Whoa, I just can't stop snacking.
But let me hold you just there. Before we get into it, if you're interested in fat loss and you want to know exactly how I coach my team, in the link in description, we've got the RV Fitness Fat Loss Guide, which has everything you'll ever need to know from nutrition, training, habit formation, that it will be the simplest of methods that you can apply on a day-to-day basis and get into the shape of your life. Better still, if you want to get this thing rolling with some accountability, the second link is going to be even better for you. That's intro to our 8-week rapid fat loss program called Renovate, which is kicking off this September, and you do not want to miss out because we have limited spaces and we tend to drop about 3 to 5 kilos for each client that joins us and does the business. So let's start with number 1. Not all hunger is the same, all right? Let's understand what hunger really is all about. The first mistake you're making is thinking that hunger is all the same. It's not. Sometimes your brain just wants food. You walk past the office biscuits, you fancy them. You're scrolling on Instagram, on TikTok, and you see a takeaway ad, you fancy it. That's not your body asking for fuel. That's your body just chasing dopamine, fam. Then there's emotional hunger, stressed, boredom, long day of work where people are pulling on every single ounce of your life force. That right there is an emotional pull. You come home from that long day at work, from the office or from the clinic, and then you see those typical, usual golden treats. The half bag of Doritos, FYI, chili heat wave, #1 flavor. Cool original, you're a bit weird if you like that one. And it's not because you're starving, you're craving comfort at this point. The long day has eaten at you, you want to replenish and you need that comfort. Then there's actual hunger. The one where you're so hungry, where you've done 14, 15, 16 weeks of diet like yours truly, and a cold piece of fish sitting on a slab of the concrete on the floor would look just glorious because you just want to eat. But you treat all 3 of those things as the same. So when you understand those 3 things are different, it'll help you massively. Now you know what hunger really is. Let's look at why you're always hungry. Your meals are constant afterthoughts. Low fiber, low protein, random portions, on the go, off the cuff, random meals you've just gathered together. And then you wonder, with that freestyle eating, why you're hungry literally 2 or 3 hours later. There's just no structure to it, fam. You see, your body's not broken, it's just underfed, it's undernourished, it needs a lot more than you're actually giving it, bro. And when I do assessments with my clients whenever they join the RV Fitness team, I normally see a couple of things. Most men are consuming like 60 to 80 grams of protein. Their fiber is less than my nephew Kian, and he's 4 years old, and they're drinking about 1 liter of water a day because they're too busy. Make that make sense. If you fix those 3 things, you're going to immediately see massive improvements in your hunger. You'll suddenly stop thinking about food every 30 seconds. And it's not because you've suddenly got new willpower, it's because you're now feeding and nourishing your body, as I said before. And before Karen jumps in and tells me,
Oh, you don't need to have the 1 gram per kilogram of protein. That's too much for your body.
well, my darling, that's really sweet and I really appreciate you and I wish you all the very best, but I don't really want to coach you. I want to coach guys like this and this who want to get into the shape of their life, who want to have the elite physiques whilst juggling their life. So you stay in your lane, I'll stay in mine, and keep helping wonderful people get into amazing shape. And here's the last point, all right? This is the biggest one. The biggest mistake I was missing for years: hydration. I know I've touched on it already, but it deserves its own point entirely. You see, when I was working as a dentist for the last 12 years, my days were crazy. I would see back-to-back patients in the private practice clinic, and yes, I worked in the NHS, and yes, I worked in the military. I've done the whole hog. Right? Time was money. Your patients, your client base, I understand it, you are busy. But this is how my day would often look. I'd go from patient to patient, no breaks, no sips of water. I'd get to lunch and I'd be grabbing at the biscuit tin, hitting the banana bread, which Karen made, which she said was healthy, but it's clearly laden with butter and all the goodness that came with it and the cream cheese frosting. And I'd be just stuffing it, thinking I just need to eat. But this wasn't out of hunger. I was dehydrated, fam. My pee in the toilet looked like mango pulp. That isn't good. That's not normal. And I'd convinced myself I needed food, when in fact my body was just craving hydration, and even that from the foods that I was consuming. So habit stack your water. Every time you see a new patient, every time you do an email, every time you go outside your room or you move from your chair, drink some water. Stack every new thing you do in your day with water intake, and I promise you, just increasing that fluid will make a big difference. So here's what I want you to remember. Snacking is not the problem. It's the symptom. It's the symptom of the lack of hydration, fiber intake, protein, everything that I've talked about today. And the question is not what snack should I have that's high in protein and good for me. It's why do you need to snack in the first place? What's going on? Is it real hunger? What's your food content like? Have you structured it out? Have you drunk enough water? And when you tackle all those three things, you're in for a smoother ride. And fat loss becomes a heck of a lot easier. Gentle reminder, in the link in description, you've got two things which you will ever need. One, the link to the RV Fitness Fat Loss Guide, and two, the link into our Renovate Intro to Coaching and 8-week rapid fat loss program. Don't miss it out. It's going to sell out. You'll be sad when you miss out. So please don't miss out. And otherwise, subscribe and join the team and join the journey as we continue to show people how fat loss and fitness is really done. See you soon.